Okay, so Jess was sort of telling me that you girls were the runners in the business. So meaning like you kind of like have a plan with the business, you want to do something with it, you want to make an income with it. So I just kind of wanted to chat with you guys about things that really helped me as a newer coach or somebody that took a little bit longer to kind of run with the business. So I always like self-assessed myself before like I kind of like went to my upline or like if I went to ask for help with anything. And I would ask myself these questions. So I want you to write these down because I still to this day ask myself these questions. And it's a balance of every single one of them. So the first question I ask myself is, am I sending 30 plus invites daily? And that could mean personal messages, that could mean polls in my Instagram stories. Like this is a mixture of all of them. And that could mean posting in my feed. So like whether that be a transformation post with an invite at the end with a date of when my boot camp is going to start, because humans need dates. They need to know when they can sign up. Next question. Am I being a product of the product? And I know like you guys hear that all the time and you're probably like, we know we have to do the programs, but like, are you actually like showing people that the program that you're currently doing is working for you? It doesn't have to be physical. Like, yes, that is important, but like, is it actually making you like a happy human being? Is it actually like helping your schedule if you're like somebody that has a busy schedule? Are you showing people that you're drinking the products and like drinking the Energize and drinking the shakes, like showing people how much you actually love it? Because it's just like when you buy like, for example, Aerie clothes or like Lululemon clothes, like someone wants to know where you're getting that because they love it, right? So because you love it so much, they want to like do it too. So people like fall in love with what you're doing because you're being so like passionate about it. Third question. Are you creating FOMO? Not just FOMO with the programs, but like FOMO when you're signing people up, FOMO when you're like checking in with your challenge group. So like I constantly screen record my challenge group or like screen record people checking in because not a lot of people have that. Like not a lot of people have that accountability piece. Like that's what I was missing. I didn't have somewhere to check in, or like I didn't have like a big support system like this. So like I always make sure that I'm showing what we have to offer to people, like the community aspect, because a lot of people are missing that and we don't really realize that. Another thing too is creating FOMO with coaching. So like, are you sharing team call nights? Are you showing up on team call nights? That's like non-negotiable for me. I make sure that I show up on team call nights. And of course, like if you're working or something, that's like understandable. But even catching up on the replays, like making sure that you're making like team calls non-negotiable, because that's actually so helpful in your business when you're hearing from other people on the team, like sharing their top tips with you. Another thing you can create FOMO with is like, even if you haven't been with your team in person yet, I heard that Jess is throwing like a little team retreat for you guys soon. But like you can start talking about that. You can start creating hype for that. And even if you haven't been with your team, you can even talk about like how you can earn trips and how you can like get together with your team and how you do like meet up on Zoom all the time. That actually creates FOMO for people. That creates FOMO for me when I see like other teams together. I'm like, I want to be with my team. So don't be afraid to talk about that, even if you haven't like experienced that yet. Next question. Am I completing my business activity tracker? And not just like checking off the boxes just to check off the boxes, like actually like focused work into your business activity tracker and making sure like you feel like, wow, I actually completed it today. Not just like half-ass, like they said on the team call last night, like full ass completed your business activity tracker, because I promise it will pay off for you when you continue to do that over and over and over again, because consistency is so key. I couldn't say that like more, because if I wasn't consistent, I wouldn't be where I am today. If Jess wasn't consistent, she wouldn't have a team today. So like we both show up like in our stories, yes, but also behind the scenes. And if you're not doing both of those, then you won't see the success that you want. And then that was my next one. Am I being consistent? So yes, if you are someone that shows up in your stories every single day, talks on your stories, shares like your personal life, shares that you're doing the business, all of those things, that's great because people want to see that and people are actually interested in what you have to say and what you're doing, even if you don't think they do. That's great. But also, are you doing the behind the scenes work? Are you showing up? Are you connecting with people? Are you inviting to the boot camp? Are you inviting to coaching? And I know this like seems overwhelming and like feels like it could be a lot, but it's so worth it. And it becomes honestly a habit, just like your workout once you start to do this stuff. Like sometimes I feel like if I don't complete invites or like if I don't follow people or if I don't know, like do the work things, I get like kind of anxiety because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do my business activity tracker today. And I know it shouldn't be like that. It's just like the type of person I am. But I promise you it will become a habit for you once you do it consistently. This is great for, okay, so the next one, am I offering incentives? So you could do incentives different, like in a lot of ways. So if you're someone that's like struggling to hit Success Club this month, or if you're someone that's like, I'm doing the things, like what the heck, sometimes offering incentives is like helpful for people that follow you. I remember, I think it was like last summer, I forget what month it was, but I was like, what the heck? Like nothing's working. I need to like do something. So I added an incentive if they were to sign up within the next week. So whether it be a Lululemon gift card or whether it be you'll be put in a draw, it actually really helps. I know you don't want to do that every month because that's not what you don't want to give your money away every month, but it's just like an option if you find that you're struggling to get people to sign up because everyone likes free stuff when they sign up. Incentives are also great for your boot camp. Oh, somebody coming on? Pardon? Oh, okay. Incentives are also great for your boot camp because I find in my challenge group when people are doing like they're checking in and stuff, I like to like give them an incentive for that. So like the person that I don't know checked in the most this week will get a prize or something like that. It'll help your boot camps be more engaging too. This is a good one because I find a lot of people kind of slack on this a lot, especially as new coaches, because they don't really know how to kind of do it. But feel free to reach out to your upline or anyone on the team because you don't have to run it by yourself. Am I running a coaching sneak peek every month? And it doesn't have to be by yourself. It can be by yourself if you want it to, but feel free to ask people on the team. Like anyone I'm sure would love to do a coaching sneak peek with you. Jess, like you guys could run one as a team. I think team coach sneak peeks are great because then they can hear everyone's story and then you get more comfortable with it. Like when you're running it with people every month, you get sort of like, yeah, more comfortable with it. And then that way you can kind of run it as you want to every month. You could do a Zoom call, you could do a Facebook group, whatever you feel you like, also whatever you feel that your followers like. And then the last one I always ask myself is, am I being creative? Like, am I being any different than the other Beachbody coaches that these people follow? Why do people want to follow me? Like, what about my feed or what about my Instagram stories is more creative than other people? And I know it's not like I'm trying to be like competitive, but like I like to make sure that you want to make sure that you're different than other people, right? Like you want to make sure like they want to sign up with you for this reason. So I always ask myself, am I being creative? Those are all the questions I ask myself every single month. And it's been helpful for my business. So I just wanted to share those with you because sometimes I find that it can be frustrating to grow a business, or like it can be a little bit defeating sometimes. But if you're doing all of these things, success will happen for you. It's just you have to be consistent with all of them. Do you guys have any questions?
What are ways that you can try to make like yourself differ from other Beachbody coaches? Like what do you do to make it different?
So I find like when I like this doesn't have to do with Beachbody, but I find when I follow other network marketers, they use the same graphics as everyone else. So I like to like make my own graphics and like kind of make it more me. if that makes sense. Another thing too is I like to share my story a lot. Like all of us have a different story. And I think that's what like people relate to you for, is they relate to your story and what you have to share. So I like to share my story like all the time, whether it be in like pictures with like little quotes under it or whatever, or whether I talk about it. I think that's really what's gonna like make you different from other people is your story, because your story is not the same as anyone else's.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? It can be anything. It doesn't have to be even be about that if you don't want it to be. Is there an area of any of those that you find you struggle with the most? Like whether you're scared or you haven't done it yet, or balancing them?
I find I struggle with creating FOMO. I don't know, because like I look at other team members on the team, I'm like, holy shit, like they're just so engaging, and I know it just seems very personable, their stories, and I don't know, I just really struggle with creating FOMO. Do you have any tips for that?
I think just sharing your like, okay, so there's like I said, there's a few ways you can create FOMO. So like whether it be sharing your boot camp, like screen recording your boot camp, whether it be like creating FOMO with our team calls, with calls like this. It doesn't really have to be anything like crazy, really. I just think like the people that follow you are interested in you. Like don't worry about other Beachbody coaches, like, or yeah, don't like follow other Beachbody coaches. Like I think you should keep your blinders on and really just focus on like your following, because there's people that follow you that don't follow me or that don't follow Jess, you know? So I think just like create FOMO the way you would want to see it.
Also, don't compare. This was my biggest tip Shauna gave to me, because when I first started, I thought I needed to be 20 steps ahead of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So just be where you are. I did the same thing. Honestly, I don't even watch coaches' stories. Like I turn their stories off. And after doing that, it was like blinders on, and it helped a lot. I still have your guys' stories on, by the way, because I'm watching you. But like other coaches, like top coaches that I used to like admire, which I still do admire, I don't even watch their stories anymore, because like I find when I watch their stories, I'm not focused on my own story, and then you can get sidebar and you're not creating your own type of FOMO, and you're not sharing your own story because you're so focused on everyone else's.
Yeah. And it's okay to like admire other people and be like, wow, they're doing great. But remember to like focus on yourself and don't compare, because that will actually ruin you. It can. Mm-hmm. It can.
I have a question. Shauna, when you were starting out, did you talk on your stories a lot?
Okay, so when I first started, I didn't do it on Instagram because even like Instagram stories weren't a thing yet. So at that point, no, but when Instagram stories became a thing, I was more comfortable. I could go back and it's a little bit cringy to watch, but yes, I would talk on my stories, and I was like super shy, but it got more comfortable.
Okay. I hate talking on my stories.
I promise you'll get more comfortable. It's weird at first, but just talk to your phone. Like, it sounds weird, but like talk to your phone like you would talk like this, like to people or like to your friends. Because then that way, that's how people get comfortable with you. When they're like, they'll literally feel like they know you the more you talk on your stories. That's like when you meet your team, right? You're like, I already know you because I pretty much talk to you every day. Or I hear you talk on your stories, like you know everyone's whole life story because they're like themselves, right? But you'll get comfortable with it. Just keep doing it. Anyone else?
Has everyone found a Team Cup team? Ariel, did you find a Team Cup team? Yeah, okay.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, good.
Tape Team Cup and like Speed Demon with it. Like Team Cup is the month that you kind of blow yourself away with it. So when you have like that push, like that extra push, we already have like the support of the team, but when you have that extra support, take it and run with it. That is my tip for Team Cup.
Yep. And it's fun too. Like it's fun to like be a part of a team and like push each other.
And you can even create FOMO with that.
Exactly.
Or in your business, because a lot of people are scared to do the business because they're like, what the heck do I do once I start?
Speaking of creating FOMO, we'll take I'm gonna stop the recording.